Hello everyone, my name is Carl Bond, and this is my fourth video to explain about graphics and computer illustration, at least the process that I have gone through. As I left off my third video somewhat abruptly, I was working on all these different images of the public market sign. I'm almost certain is from Seattle, Washington, the Pike Place Market, public market sign. And when I got to this particular illustration right here, it was more of a tunnel rather than a sign that would say public market. You can make the U out right there and maybe the ARK right there, but not too much else. And so how I got from this to something that is like this, that is a little bit more readable, is to apply a noise filter in GIMP. And so the noise filter creates all these little dots and pixels. And here's another uh, illustration, I guess, of pixels, really fine dots on an image. That's certainly a lot bigger than, no, I didn't want to do that. Certainly a lot bigger than the image before. So the image before is smaller, as you can see, just 700 by 400 approximately pixels, and this one is a leapfrog forward in terms of gigantic size. So what I'm going to show you is these two programs. I actually worked primarily with Superphoto first a little bit, and I have that work saved on the computer that I'll get to right now. So I was still working with the public market sign, as you could see, through these images, and these file names correlate between the different picture sizes that you would see here. And so when you're working with a number of different pictures at once, sometimes it can be really confusing about what file size you're working with than another one. And so that's why personally, for me, when I'm working from a mobile device, sometimes it's not as easily read what picture I'm working from. Is it something that's scaled up or scaled down? Is it the larger image? Is it a smaller image? And even if it's a smaller image, sometimes there are subtle differences that I got the effect that I was looking for. So I basically started with 131 to designate the larger size, and I was going with just number 1 to designate the smaller size. When I saved these pictures right here from this application called Superphoto. And Superphoto is cross-platform. So I'm going to show the various difference changes from large to small. Again, 131 is the larger image size. You can see by these quadruple digit sizes rather than triple digit sizes. Um, so this is a smaller size, and this is a rendition in the larger size. Smaller, larger, smaller, larger. And the larger is not too much of a difference that I could kind of see. But when I'm showing you this, even if there are not a whole lot of changes that Superphoto has done based upon file size, there are uh, programs that do uh, take a significant approach onto um, picture illustration. So this is at 100%. This smaller size one that is sized by 3 digits. And this one is the larger sized image that is sized by 4 digits, both horizontal and vertical. And this is what it looks like at 100%. So based upon the filter that you're working from, sometimes the filter would just overlay, start to paint on, start to illustrate based upon this file size. And then with this file size, you would get thinner uh, uh, like illustrations. And it's kind of hard to explain, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. What the Let's see if I can actually even draw it on the picture myself. So um, it would make all these different lines or illustrations that go in a certain way, you know, trying to transform this picture to something that would more resemble this. Um, but on a larger image, it might actually have the same diameter with this particular brush. So I'm going to make a couple of illustrative lines here that maybe you could get kind of an idea what it looks like when it's scaled back. So there's a world of a difference between thin lines and thick lines. And I think that maybe that was more of a rendering under GIMP. But since I have a limited amount of time here, that I was wanting to use the filters in Superphoto. So anyway, let me continue. This is again from the larger image, and this is one from the smaller image. So there's not a whole lot of difference there, but you might say that I like things to be more opened up, or some other artist, computer artist, or uh, designer out there would say, no, I kind of like more of a canvas kind of feel to the picture that I'm working with. This again is the smaller image, and this is the larger image. Now you can see that there is kind of a subtle differences in this one as well. But no matter the filter that I was working with, they all seem to be generally the same sort of artistic style. So If you are working from a filter that uh, would give you one aspect, one illustrative style, um, it might be within your best interest to explore with another illustrative style. So that's why I had um, already showed a little bit of um, the process that I would go through in terms of making artwork on a mobile device. So these are the apps that are cross-platform for a mobile device. Certainly not these, I guess things have changed. It looks like only Pastello. Oh, so I guess Puzzy Pix is a new addition to this page. Um, People that have been watching my videos for like certainly the first two. Remember the first two that Impresso Pro and Pastello would be here at the top, and it is a moderately expensive program um, that is only on available on Apple tablet, iPad devices. Um, but the rest of the apps here uh, are available, if not two platforms, then I could see that there is um, apps that are available in three different platforms like iOS and Android. But there are other apps like this one right here that is available just on the iPhone and iPad, which is, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word. Um, but uh, Kyobic Photo. Um, you have all these different apps on this web page, and unfortunately for some viewers of this video, they're not as cross-platform. But the apps that I was working with that were cross-platform were Impresso, Portrait Painter, and let's see if I can't find the last one. I'm sure I can. Artista Oil. And so this app right here and these two apps um, uh, uh, were part of either my first episode um, or episode number two, in terms of describing about artistic illustration that one can do on a mobile device. So if you're riding a subway train, you don't have a whole lot of internet access. You're in a really rural part of the country or the world, and you just don't have a whole lot of access to be able to upload a photo, to have it come back and come back to the device changed. Let me show you what I'm talking about when I say upload a photo. So let me go over to the free section, and I'll try to do something like this, black and white paint. So you can see that this one is uh, am I fool? some people that oh, you just took that to Photoshop and made that grayscale, but not in this case. And you can see that there was a brief time that there was a blue line at the top. That was the program uploading an image to some sort of internet server online. I'm going to do that again just so that, oh, maybe that was the image that it was working from. That this program is helpful to create an image rendering, but you need to have an internet connection in order to do it. So since my internet seems to be somewhat fast on high speed, that I am able to do this quicker um, uh, than many I guess other people. This is Superphoto, and Superphoto um, is a nice program. There's things that you would need to unlock, though, and there's a number of things that I have not unlocked myself. So let's say, for example, that you want to do something like this. Well, you can't, even get access to that filter without being able to pay for um, uh, the portions of this filter that it is about. It could be the brushes category, or it could be the artistic category. I had paid for um, I some of these um, artistic styles, but then other artistic styles came into existence in this program. And so it looks like to me that maybe I should have just went with unlock everything. And I'll probably have to do that in the future because, well, for example, dream smoothing looks pretty interesting. Um, there was another artistic style. I think it was drawing cutout right there. Seemed to be something interesting to tap into. But you could see that, like the program that I showed you in the last video of working with these different using these different filters, uploading the same image over and over and over, and getting all these different results based upon the filter that I was using. Superphoto is much the same way. And so, of course, that you would need to have internet access to access this web page. You would need internet access to access Superphoto. Now, I'm also going to want to get into Paint a little bit. And Paint is a program that is a little bit more how should I say this, honest or helpful. You can pay for just like a week or a month or a year using this program. So here it is again. Here's the internet access that is required to have people look at a specific image, an artistic style. So uh, the subscription, the cost of this, uh, by paying that entrance fee, you get be able to hide the watermark of the app. So let me. There's the watermark right there. In some cases, you could just like paint that away in another paint program, but some other programs might be harder for one to paint that away. Um, okay, so this would probably be the quickest example of what to um, um, get at in a rather simple or um, easy, uh, quick and efficient way of getting at an image. So um, let me load the image, save it to the desktop or downloads folder, wherever it's going to go. Um, and minimize that. Um, no, I was working under. Okay, upload the skyline, and then you could see that the watermark in the background, since the bottom portion is really busy, that it's kind of a challenge for one to kind of paint that out themselves. Um, you see in smaller images that this gets grainy, but in larger images, um, that it becomes much softer, and because it takes a while for the computer program here to illustrate that it has broken it off into sections, um, and allowed a computer to um, uh, uh, work together at illustrating specific sections of the picture. So one picture is good for one side, and the other is, like the top left or the bottom right, based upon it would be just worked on by individual pictures. So that's what is going on when an image is uploaded to, say, Dreamscope, or an image is uploaded to Paint or Superphoto. That is being uploaded, and okay, here we go. This is where things start changing. depending on the size of the image. And this is really good, an example to show that, okay, it's not going to always be my benefit to have like a high quality picture, or maybe it is. Maybe it is under my interest to have a high quality image. You know, who knows? Who knows what is who wants what? So you could say, I'd like this image, or gee, I'd like this image because you got all the lines right here. But once you start getting into an image like this, that you got more dynamic shapes going in both angular directions that you just wouldn't get with this one. It seems that, you know, the images are just going one direction. And so I'd like to continue by showing this maybe in a different artistic style. So yet again, you see that it requires an internet connection for this program to work its magic. And then you can see, based upon the picture sizes, that oh, I would actually kind of like to do this, you know, or maybe you'd like to have this, like bolder, thicker lines for one to work with. So you could certainly still use the small image to play around with on a 20 by 30 inch canvas. You would still need to use these the poster edges filter that I showed in GMIC on the last tutorial, or maybe the last two tutorials. So the poster images filter is right there. And given in a picture that's not quite so spectacular, that you don't see a whole lot of interesting things going on in this image. But if we zoom in a little bit, without using being able to create this an additional layer, you could still see that it's going to snap a certain artistic style into the image, as the filter is designed to do. So you could see that things are, the image is really kind of noisy, and then it's just kind of softly diffused after the filter is applied. And so the filter like this, for example, would be really helpful in applying to a picture like this, so that you could still get like a high quality rendering It would take a number of different passes, adding a number of different layers onto uh, onto this image. But after a while, you would get an image that would be somewhat like the large quality illustrative style, based upon how much pixels are in the root of the image. Um, um, it's a little bit complicated to explain, but I would say that the larger the image you get, the much more significant base you can get based upon illustrative style. That would transform onto a wall. A small image is certainly just fine, as long as you take steps to get rid of the grainy fuzz, you know, the things that look um, too jagged or bumpy or whatever. That it just it's kind of um, a challenge to look at, and so if you are able to smooth those jaggeds away by applying um, filters and artistic detail to a picture, that you would be able to come across with something that looks, you know, uh, nice. No matter how close you get to the image, no matter how close you get to the image, it should look um, good. That you shouldn't get like these fuzzy remnants of an image. It's just not um, appealing to look at. And um, although you could certainly resize an image so that the printer will say, "Oh, this is not 150 dots per inch," or "This isn't 300 dots per inch." You could still resize this, so you could still get this grainy quality. But I would really recommend that you wouldn't stop there, that you would continue on, so that you could have much more of a subtle um, um, artistic style, or even a larger one, based upon you could still see that there's some um, pixels and whatnot. I'm not going to click on the original because that would probably take too much time, and the time that would not necessarily be spent. I'm sure that people get the idea. So I'm going to go back and just show people other artistic styles that they could um, get um, from paint. And so paint, you could certainly say, "Oh, I like this style better than I like this style, so I'm going to have this style be 90% or 75%," and so you basically have all these different artistic styles. Um, that actually might be an interesting challenge for me to play around with, as opposed to this sign back here. Still wanting to kind of play around with this image, but not get something that is looking like this at all, but something that could potentially be a whole lot more appealing. So I'm going to load the large image as it was given to me from the stock photography website. And having these rings around the image does not really appeal to me that much. So I'm wondering if there's going to be another setting that is going to happen, and I probably should have clicked on small before I went back and chose another artistic style. Now it looks like that this, no, I was going to say that it might look have like a flat appearance, you know, that I get away from this like this tunnel vision sort of thing, that I want to have something that resembles more or less what we understand as a common ordinary picture, that you don't have all these kind of circular bands around your photographic subject. So, yeah, I'm not liking that filter too much. Need to go back. And so it might take a little bit of time to kind of find something that might be perfect for that person. And I doubt that I'm going to find something that is going to be um, perfect in the last 20 or so minutes. So, so I could certainly play around with these selections right here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to basically give you a little bit of a presentation of some of the different artistic styles that are available in Paint, and maybe I will stumble across one or two um, different ideas that will look like that. You know, it's like a flat background rather than, you know, all these different bubbles. You know, I just want something that's more or less flat around the background, um, rather than all these kind of circular formations as you saw um, in this example right here. which, you know, to itself, that could be an interesting photo, but it just doesn't appeal to me. So, uh, hmm. Some filters might take more time than what one person is willing to invest in the picture to upload. Um, so it's kind of or very much unfortunate that maybe on a specific illustrative style takes too much to process. So you know this is the flattest background that I've seen yet. So I'm going to say save and share. So I can save that to the desktop. Um, Maybe it will even have more of a flat background. Yeah, you could say that it has more of a flat background in the lowest setting. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to call that untitled uppercase A. Uh, so um, I could get by with just one, but I'm going to layer two different um, visualizations of a filter, the image, the filtered image from Paint, and so I'm going to from there do an example of poster images, and that'll be very wonderful if I can get done in time, and maybe I will, and maybe I'll just have yet another um, thing that I'll have to um, kind of slightly cut up and do in um, post process, the cutting room floor, as it were. Um, hmm. You can see that the filter will really make all these little molehills out of mountains, and so I actually kind of like that um, background as well. That just gives me another um, uh, background that um, it's the whole thing is try to be even as much as possible. So I guess I have basically fulfilled my result. I can't uh, really go on any further because one or two is basically all that you need to kind of make um, uh, a, uh, an image, a better maybe image from two independent images and bring them together. So let me load. Um, uh, Here we go. Now you could see that filters do their own resizing. So this is 450 and this is 800. So I would need to scale this up to 800. Um, and 501, 502. Uh, I'm not going to, well, I guess I am going to make it a thing that I'll just have to um, detach the link right there and bring 501 into 502. Um, it's the sometimes image manipulation programs and just even the images themselves get really picky if you don't overlay the exact number by the exact number. And so when you don't overlay the exact number by the exact number, you will get things that maybe match up around the center, but then you start getting kind of fuzzy around the edges. And maybe that's the artistic style that you're willing to go with. You know, oh, aha, there's another level of detail that I find interesting as an artist. So, I'm going to do that, which is totally okay. People can do uh, whatever they want with illustrative um, designs or whatever. I'm not trying to say that any one idea, any one perspective is good or bad than the other. So now that I combined the two images, I'm going to export it as a JPEG, um, and I'm going to give it a unique name to say lowercase c after the b, just so that I know what the image is that I'm loading before I load it. Um, so I'm going to try this, and I'm also going to go back into modern, I guess, and see if there's going to be an interesting way of looking at this image. Um, no, it still gives you kind of a bubble effect, it looks like. Oh, and it seems to already be done with one of them. One of them that I had the um, computer to upload. So it has changed some things from another image that I saved on my computer last week or 2 weeks ago. Or here's an image that may, I guess it wasn't actually the no, don't see the same pattern. But you could see the pattern of blues does not exist in the upper part of the sky. It's more orange and greenish like, rather than having a blue top to it like here. Although it kind of has, this curve right here, which was not present, but there's a curve right here. So there are a number of different things that you could do to a specific image, just subtle things, in order to kind of um, uh, transmute it a little bit somehow, in order to make it uh, um, seem a little bit more to your liking. Um, I'm not at all certain if this is going to create on a bubble there still. And no, it kind of does not, which, is an interesting aspect, but maybe there are people out there that don't like these lines. And so um, that's why there's experimentation in trying to organize an image to say, oh, I don't like that image at all, throw that out. Put another one on. Oh, this kind of fits together really well. I'm going to save it and I'm going to send it to the printer. And printers, really briefly, the printer that I use is Costco Photo Center. So they have a number of different styles here. Um, number of different gifts. It's uh, a really interesting way of taking the work that you did for yourself. You're going to surprise a spouse or a family friend with a picture of uh, the first wedding photo, or you give this to Costco and that they can print your wedding photo as is, but in order to do all these kind of modifications, you're either gonna have to figure out how to do these yourself or have someone else do them for you. Um, but Costco Photo Center can basically take any image and print it and uh, to appear on someone's wall or um, uh, someone's desktop as a small picture frame. The opportunities are almost limitless. So speaking of images uh, of um, gotta get rid of that sound. Speaking of images that have uh, been photographed from a bygone era, um, decades ago, um, for a wedding couple to remember the first year anniversary, the first 10, the first 25, uh, whatever gift that you want to create for yourself or for a loved one or a friend or what have you. The opportunities are just limitless. So I encourage people to get out there, to explore, to have fun, and to see what you come up with. And maybe you'll surprise a whole lot of people. Maybe you start developing a hobby yourself. This is certainly not meant specifically for college age um, people or people that are still in high school. But certainly, if you're in high school, that you have more time to kind of spend to get better at something rather than to be a little bit lost on dimensions, pixel sizes. Uh, how do you get from um, uh, a 20 by 30 to a 30 by 40 or 24 by 32 to a 16 by 48? It's somewhat of a complicated thing for some folks to grab a specific hold on that's going to appease Costco Photo Center. Um, if it's anything over on a size of, I just, I'm willing to say over uh, uh, 8 by 12, that they want to have the dimensions be, I believe, on 150 dots per inch. If it's an 8 by 12 or smaller, they want to have the dots per inch, the DPI be 300 dots per inch. Um, so anyway, I encourage you all to have fun out there illustrating these images, and hopefully you can have fun and make money doing that. Good luck.